Alright guys, it's Jahlon with the Paradox Gaming Network, and I am really excited today. We got some huge news for Ashes of Creation. A lot of things starting to roll out now. They're getting ready to talk to us again. That little period of radio silence is over. Big thing you're going to see today is I have important news in all caps. I need you to pay attention right now. You're going to need this information. And then I'm going to go over some store stuff, and then I'm going to talk about that staff size thing one last time. Finally, hopefully, with today's information, we can finally kill it, and we can just get rid of that concern. So again, what we're going to talk about today, you can see important news about Alpha 1 is in all caps. That usually I save all caps for the foot stomps, the stuff you really need to know. Now, first and foremost, don't panic. Alpha 1 is on schedule for Q4 2018. That means this year, in just a couple of short months, we're going to be playing some Alpha 1 of Ashes of Creation. Thing you need to know is that this is the last month that the store pack is going to come with Alpha 1 access. They have 8,000 people already to play in Alpha 1. They want to keep their number under 10,000. So they're going to cut that off at the end of July. But one more time, yes, that means Alpha 1 is set. And let me tell you, this is well played. They are clearly thinking things through on a production timeline, which near and dear to my heart, lets me relate to it really well. I understand production timelines. And what this means is they want to know what their fixed number of Alpha 1 participants is. They want to cap that at 10,000. Now, I'm sure that they're not going to stop selling the packs this month. If they were to sell 3,000 packs, I'm sure they'd be ecstatic. But then they're going to know the number of people that are showing up well in advance. That's like if you're, telling people to show up to a party. What do? They RSVP. Well, Steven and company, they want the RSVPs all in so they can make sure to be able to accommodate. And they don't want to be scrambling at the last minute, which I know it seems weird. A lot of companies you see start scrambling at the last minute for their launches. This is a really good indicator that they got their eye on the ball and, a lot of little moving parts. If they're getting this set up for Alpha 1, makes me really comfortable about launch because they're doing all the right things now. Remember, the Ashes Alpha is not a marketing hype alpha. It is not an Arcade or a Blade and Soul or a BDO, one of these. The game is already done and polished and been sitting on a shelf or in another region for a year. You sell alpha access, which is really just your localization. You're going to be seeing raw, organic, unpolished, unfinished parts of the game that they want tested. This is old school testing. You have not seen testing of this magnitude in your lifetime unless you are an old school game tester. So we haven't seen alpha like this in probably 10 to 15 years. So don't be thinking when you start seeing that early alpha footage, oh my god, this is so unpolished. Yes, it's unpolished. They're going to be working with the players to make tweaks and turns, and then they'll polish it all up before launch. So let's get into the July store stuff. Again, last month for you to buy Alpha 1 access. Same packages are there. Did the diligence. All the math is the same. I do want to throw this slide in. At the end of July, the Alpha 1 pack will be swapped with another pack that doesn't include Alpha 1 access, but comes with additional perks. No idea what those perks are. Now, important question. Going to try to get it in for the live stream next week. Does this mean that Kickstarter backers can't go above the package that grants Alpha 1 access? Don't know. Summer backers, same thing. And then the question is, what are these additional perks going to be? I have no idea, man. We're going to have to wait until August 2nd to see what those perks are going to be. The July individual purchases, I like them. I like the Ramstone Hauler. Thinking about that one. Really love the Oathbreaker bear. That's a bear, man. That's not no Stuffertons. That's what a bear mount should look like. In fact, I'm probably going to take the 20 out of my wallet and buy him here in just a minute. And then I like the pangolin pet. It's kind of cute. Pets aren't my thing. If they're your thing, I know a lot of people love pangolins. They were received really well in other games that didn't. Now, staff size. Everybody knows that I talk Ashes. I talk it on my live stream. I talk it in my Discord. I talk it on forums. And I want to once again say I have always been comfortable with their ramp up in staff size. The use of Epic Games and Unreal Engine 4 so that they don't have to have an engine development team. Leveraging outside consultants and outside contractors to do stuff. Brilliant strategy to move things along quickly and affordably. I keep hearing from people that the project's too big for an indie studio. Well, Ashes is not really an indie studio anymore. You'll see that in just a second. They're saying they don't have enough experienced people. They don't have enough people, period. They're never going to hit their milestones or their deadlines. Okay, well, here's what we got this week in news. Ashes of Creation is now one of the largest MMOs in production. They are at 100 people on their development team. They've added developers in France and Malaysia. And not quite sure why they're bringing on the international global developer presence yet. I think I have an idea. I want to try to weasel that information out of Steven next week. Just realized, I believe my guess is they're trying to put a foothold in Europe and Asia so that they're a European-based company. They can do some self-publishing that way. This sort of development clearly justifies and explains the radio silence over the last few weeks. Next up, you see that they have 100 developers. Again, another source. Steven said it's pretty exciting to watch your dreams become a reality. That's the thing. He believes in his dream. All the people that don't want to believe in it, it's okay. It's not your dream to believe in. So now that we're at 100 people, we're not really an indie studio anymore. We're really kind of approaching, pretty professional company. To add on to that, they picked up some really good talent from Daybreak Games. I'm really excited that these guys were able to find a home with Intrepid. Lots of experience, lots of pedigree. You're looking at 12 to 22 years industry experience. A lot of H1Z1, EverQuest. These guys are all familiar with a lot of members of the team. At Intrepid already. That's another really cool thing. These guys have worked together in the past. So if you remember, I talked about something Steven had said, it's not just about finding the right talent. It's about finding the right talent that fits into your organization. Well, clearly all these guys it's like all the friends you had at the old company. They're all coming over. So really glad that these 5 guys could get picked up. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't cover all 7 of the new hires. Bringing on a new senior producer. That's really important. And then bringing on an executive assistant, a former senior GM, and a customer service. Guys, you got to remember, there is a lot of power. A lot of things happen at an executive assistant's desk. That is where a lot of the paper shuffling happens. A lot of the things get kept on track. Really key position that I'm glad they're starting to build up their ancillary services now. Cause that's one of the things you need somebody to help keep the boss and the managers, keep them honest. And that is one of the most clutch positions I've ever seen. So I'm glad that they actually took the time to say, yes, we hired somebody to fill that role. A lot of other companies would have just been like, yeah, whatever, those are support people. I'm really happy to see that Intrepid took the time to recognize, yes, and we hired an executive assistant, and this person is part of the team. Check out the PAX video with the PAX panel where they talk about everybody kind of just jumps involved in everything. So this should free up some of those everythings. I got a bunch of sources for this one because it is a lot of news. It's a lot of press releases. I have put a bee in the bonnet of the people at Intrepid asking if the content creators can get those press releases directly a day or two after the press cycle breaks. We don't want to try to get it early. That's how you get press, by giving them exclusive information. But it'd be nice if we could see those press releases direct. But for now, here's where I drew my stuff from. As always, I do the full disclosure every month. Up to 110 unpaid referrals. Thank you guys. Really appreciate that. 430 visits. That's my job now. I need to go out there and pound the pavement a little bit. I'm still talking to people who have never heard of Ashes before. I got to draw them in. If you haven't registered, if you're just the first time you're hearing about Ashes, shameless plug, please use my referral link. It helps me take that unpaid earnings. I put that back into Paradox, and then I do giveaways. All of the Ashes money will stay inside of Ashes, and I think I have figured out a way to do that when it comes time for you to buy stuff you want from the Ashes store. If you've registered and you think this is wrong, like I'm not reflecting the earnings, please make sure to email me and we'll talk. 100% transparency is my goal when it comes to anything that has to do with money. And that's it, guys. It is the 4th of July. I'm trying to get this cut today so it can be out for you on Thursday. If you want to talk more, shoot me an email. Get me on Discord. That's the easiest. I basically live on Discord now between my computer and my phone. Stop on by. It is Wednesday, so I will be doing a Paradoxical Impressions tonight and Friday. And then, as always, I want to say a big thank you to my Patreon sponsors. A couple of them have gone on to support other projects. Totally cool, guys. Really appreciate you for the time that you were with me. It's those guys that are responsible for the gift cards that I give away. And then a big thank you to my longtime donor, Jonathan Bentley. He started the whole Patreon thing with me, got me that kick in the butt that I needed to get going. And it's totally been astounding. So thank you, Jonathan, for being a longtime donor. I know I don't do RGH content anymore, and that's where I met Jonathan. And that's it, guys. I'm going to go into post-production right now. I'm going to start a different video as well. And then hopefully you will see this first thing in the morning on Thursday. Enjoy your 4th. Hey, where are you going? You're not done yet. See these videos? This video's up here to watch. You got to go over here. Hit the chibi. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the webpage. And I'll see you guys on Twitch.